Hey citizens, my name is Black and welcome to CasaBLACK's Highlights of the Week for July 4th, which in America is the celebration of our independence, but that's neither here nor there in regards to this video. It's just a coincidence of date. This is a weekly series where I go over the nice bits of news and info from the prior week, and that's quite a bit to unpack, so let's jump right into it. So really quick before the roadmap roundup, there was a quick news flash. According to Vane CIG in his official post, buyback tokens will be available on July 5th. There is a knowledge base available for those with questions and a thread for the 2021 buyback token schedule. Moving on to the roadmap roundup. So this week brought another roadmap roundup with some cool deliverables and some finalized blues for patch 3.14. Added to the progress tracker was rest stop hanger replacement, which is exterior pieces for small and medium hangars to look and function properly. Atmospheric pressure damage, which is the damage that players and NPCs or ships can expect in situations where exterior pressure exceeds the value for players and ships and NPCs. It'd be kind of cool to actually see like maybe head implosions and stuff for players. Moving on, we have spacescaping, which utilizes the gas cloud tech to pretty up Squadron 42. Soon, certain ships, yes I said ships, will have refineries on them which allow players to process ore utilizing complete onboard processes, which, judging from the last Star Citizen Live, will require players hands-on, so expect to be sitting there on your ship, pushing buttons and measuring out grams and junk. Sounds cool though, just hope we get a working coffee machine on the ships as well. More time and resources are being allocated to the pyro system. My guess is that with 3.14 almost live, we'll have some teams freed up to work on that system now to get it knocked out. Hopefully in time for a spring 2021 launch. Some might think sooner, but my guess is probably next summer. Optimism though, optimism. Environmental gameplay got moved out in favor of the EU-PU gameplay feature team, adjusting some resources to refinery ships, which I'm good with. The blues that got officially added as confirmed for 3.14 are pretty much everything that was already on 3.14, such as Crusader, the Orison landing zone, planetary volumetric clouds, missile rework, everything. It's pretty much all there in blue now, so that's good news. Ship interior exterior culling has been renamed to Ship Interior OC Streaming, which I'm sure jacked up some programmers' file systems, so my condolences to those who had to remap all those files. After hints last week that Sandi and Chris were back in the studio, we got to see a nice video, which was supposed to be just a quick checking in 5-minute video. Spoiler alert, the video was 27 minutes long, which was fine for all of us, especially on a week when Inside Star Citizen was on a hiatus, because it gave us some cool and thoughtful insights into where Chris's head is at the moment. Spoiler alert, not up his ass. All kidding aside, Chris seemed hyped for server meshing, which he described the state of and how many engineers are currently working on it. It was very nice to see that his daughters were griefing him about the NPCs standing on chairs, and Chris's lamentation at why it happens on live servers versus their in-office servers. I have heard several times that in the office they see the AI do miraculous things, and the only thing keeping the players from seeing said miracles is server meshing. He said something about hoping it was ready for year-end, but I think it will be year-end 2022 personally. In the meantime, it was nice to see Sandi smiling and ribbing Chris and hearing about their move later to Manchester in the UK to be closer to the squadron team, and it sounded like he was resolved to get it in a complete state. It's a good watch, so go check it out. This week saw the Evocati patch D drop. There was not much new in terms of newsworthy items. The focus of the current test is of course still Crusader and the Orison landing zone, the Lost System V2 surrender feature, and Power Management V2 capacitor gameplay and the missile operating mode. Radar scanning and ping tier 0. The ships that are in the build for testing seems to gone up by a few ships. Some of the known issues there are still being worked on, such as elevator buttons missing on Orison and uneven physics proxies at the hospital entrances, which prevents push carts and gurneys from going through correctly. There's also large frame drops around Orison, which I think will probably be an ongoing thing for a while. Some unresponsive missions when players enter a zone, and your HUD disappearing after entering or exiting a turret. The build is still pretty early on though, and there's plenty of time for the major fixes to be fixed within the next couple of weeks, which is when it looks like the PTU will probably launch. But wait, there's more. Friday saw a patch E drop also, so I was able to squeeze that in here as well. There was another polish pass for Orison added in this update, along with the scan UI and missile operator mode passes. There was a lot of tuning for all the weapons on ships, as well with cannon projectile speeds being slowed down and reducing mass driver damage for size 1 through 3 weapons. There were quite a few bug fixes as well. Some interesting ones of note are ramming other players while in the borders of your own pad should no longer impound your ship. They fixed the annoying power button on ground vehicles not working when pressed. Miles Eckhart should now function properly and update his mission, so that should open up some nicer paid missions. Fix players not being able to interact with beer glasses after ordering them, which has been a killer thing for me lately. All in all, it was pretty good stuff, and looking forward to more bug fixes and praying they fix the oxygen issue while on ships. One of the coolest things they leaked though was the new 3.14 main menu backdrop, which shows off the splendor of Orison and looks like an alien wedding scene about to go wrong in some futuristic sci-fi movie, so job well done, guys. There was no Inside Star Citizen or Star Citizen Live this week, but we did get an awesome episode of Calling All Devs featuring Richard Tyrer, one of my favorite directors to hear from because you know you're about to hear some awesome news about gameplay features, and he did not disappoint. First up was mine and my wife's most anticipated gameplay feature of 2021, and that is medical gameplay. There was so much discussed on this topic alone that it covered over half of the stream. Rich gave some insight into the 3 different tiers of injuries, medical tools, and medical facilities, and also a few more details about the types of medical drugs to expect and the varying effects a player could expect to happen to them. Medical gameplay is going to be one of those things that players are really going to love or get annoyed with. The realism it will bring, such as having a harder time being out in the dangers of space alone, might piss many off, especially if they need to wait for a med evac while trying to do a mission, but the way it will really start to open up relying on others and providing a real career path for a medic will be game-changing in the verse, and I for one cannot wait. There was no mention of medical reputation for players being a thing, but I would assume it will be, similar to how refuelers will gain reputation so you know who to trust in the wide open recesses of space. I will cover the info on this topic more thoroughly as a what-if scenario in my next video, which will be a fireside chat, so stay tuned this coming week for that. Moving on to the other half of the video, Rich covered that local inventory should be coming along with medical gameplay because of how respawning will work with medical gameplay. Also, of a quick note is that the Cutlass Red will no longer work as a respawn bed, as it will be considered a tier 1 ship, and those do not have respawn capabilities, as that will be reserved for tier 3 hospitals. As Rich stated,
if you receive, and this is the 1%, if you receive more damage than your entire health bar again, so let's say you go from 100 to minus 100, aka you get shot with an Idris railgun and you're an EVA, you will go straight to death. That's like, go to jail, don't collect your 200, that's it. So essentially, I should not say go to jail because I think you have to go to jail. So that was a Monopoly reference. For the purposes of very clear, it means that you just die and respawn in a hospital or in a location.
So no longer will you respawn at your former landing zone hab, but you will instead be selecting a hospital, presumably with various health insurance companies at a later time. Not sure if the insurance company options will make it into 3.15. Regardless, your inventory will now no longer just travel with you if you decide to just respawn. It will now remain with your dead body, so this is a reason to wait for medical help versus just respawning. Your items will now remain in the places you put them, and you can expect a new mobiGlas app to show you all the locations you have left your various items. So if you leave your mining gear on your Prospector or Mole, or if you leave your sniper rifles on your Cutlass Black, this new app will show you that info, so you will be able to yell out, "Damn, after you land outside a cave for a mission only to realize you left your ammo back at your hab on Everest, the space station. FPS scanning also got discussed, with some of what to expect in terms of the differences between ship scanning and FPS. Sound will now be the only passively scanned feature for FPS, and if you decide to ping to see what's around you, you might want to rethink that because it will also reveal your location. Scanning a person will show you all of their important details such as criminal stat, the org they belong to, items in their bag, and if they are allowed near schools. Okay, maybe not the latter, but it will help to identify your bounties, so why you're capturing them, that's completely on you and your role playing. Hacking was also briefly discussed. There is no set release time for this feature yet, with Jared saying it will come when it's fully ready, which could be 3.15 or 3.16. My guess would of course be 3.16, as it did not seem clear whether they have quite nailed down the system entirely, and with Jared's hesitation on it, I felt like it still has time in the oven before the toothpick comes out clean. Of note for hacking is pretty much what most in Reddit figured, and that is there will be many difficulties of gameplay in the little mini game style where you're racing against the AI and time to perform a set of feats to get pieces of the passcode to unlock terminals or power to different features or whatever the gameplay devs decide they'll do with it. Rich's info was great, and I was only sad that it only lasted for 27 minutes. Looking forward to 3.15 even now more than ever before. Before I go, Star Citizen posted the Show Us Your Colors celebration for Pride Month 2021, and here are some of the standouts that I myself enjoyed. Alright, so that's going to do it for this week's Highlights of the Week video. I wanted to thank those of you who are watching my new content. I've seen my views go up slowly but steadily, and this helps me keep motivated. If you like the direction and content, please subscribe and like the videos. I have more plans for the channel and my own growth, so stay tuned. Tell me below what you're excited for. Is it medical gameplay? Is that something you're looking forward to do? Or do you see it as an unnecessary thorn in your side? Are you excited for the inventory changes or hacking? Let's talk about it here, my Discord channel, or even on Twitter where I'm pretty active and share some sneak peeks at what I'm doing. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Americans, have a happy and safe 4th of July, and remember to stay positive citizens.